onto Boogie though. He I assume none of you guys actually. I mean, I talked to Derek about it, but do you guys? Well, Rob knows Boogie, but do you guys know Boogie?
Watch the documentary? Like,
I haven't heard.
I guess that's a better question.
I guess he like did some off the wall stuff.
Dude, it's like he was like the actually before I continue, George, do you know who Boogie is? He's like from your time back in like the Stone Age.
Well, that's going on.
Yeah. Just
my stuff is here.
Yeah,
what was his alter ego called?
Francis.
Francis. You remember Francis?
Sit tight, chat. I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
I'm not going to be nice. He's the big fat guy who would like cry at stuff. I have no respect for the guy. So he was the big fat guy who would cry, and then he would like, what was it? His like most famous one was his mom like threw out his goldfish or something, and he had a meltdown. I think it was something like that. He would like poop his pants and be a baby or whatever. So anyway, like last year the documentary came out, or earlier this year? I really can't tell. Time is an illusion.
I think it was last year.
Last year, a documentary came out about him because he's just been like, he literally fell off like super hard. Like I think his videos get hundreds of views when they used to get millions. And some guy like did a documentary and was like, "What's Boogie up to now?" So it like got him a bunch of like publicity. He was like, "Oh, I have like 80 medical conditions, including like cancer and like."
And, well, keep in mind, he's like he's
900 pounds. He's like a rotund, just like, and like he does it to himself. He doesn't take care of himself. He doesn't like try to better himself. And
this
then
is the guy that faked having cancer, right?
Well, we're gonna get to that. Also, he's ballpark. He's around 600 pounds.
Yeah. He like can't walk. He like waddles around, whatever. He lives off of like the small YouTube ad revenue he gets, and then selling his magic cards from like 20 years ago that are worth a ton of money to pay rent. But then he just like blows his money on stupid stuff. He's like, "Oh, well, the Elden Ring came out, so I gotta buy that." Like that, I think that's what he said in the documentary or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so he was like saying he has all these medical conditions, and it turns out like on his podcast, he was like, "Oh no, I was just joking," like JK. Like
I wouldn't put it that simple, but he
right. he very underplayed the cancer, and it's like.
But basically, well, a few things. One, apparently with this documentary, like half of it's like lies. It's really confusing because I actually liked the video, but like he later said like, oh, a lot of it was like exaggerated. So like I don't even know where the crap begins and starts. But with the cancer, the problem is that so he like got news from his doctor that like he probably has cancer and they're testing for it or like doing stuff to like test for it. So he comes up with this video like, guys, I have cancer. I have this blood cancer. Fast forward to like now he's kind of caught in this lie of, well, did your doctor confirm you have cancer? And he's just like, well, it's like we're testing for it. It's like, but that's not a confirmation. That's just
That means nothing.
It's like, yeah, you have you need a confirmation, and and like he has a bounty to expose some of his medical records to show that he actually has cancer. Because he also says that it's confirmed in his medical records that he has cancer. But it's like the one thing he's refusing to show, even though there's $50,000 plus on the line for a guy who is literally going through like bankruptcy,
like extreme bankruptcy.
Right. And his defense is, it's the one shred of dignity I have left, and I don't want to share it with the world. I made a mistake. By telling people I had cancer, that exposing I had cancer, but I'm not going to show my medical records. It's like, dude, like showing your medical records is one thing, but if someone told me, "Hey, Derek, I'll give you $50,000 to show for you to expose like through medical records how big your dick is," I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, like $50K. 50K. Let's get, like my morals would take a backseat. I don't care. I don't have a high horse in this. Like, you know what? Go for it. Right. So odds are he's lying about it. However, his brother's apparently actually a doctor, which I find surprising. And he says that like he can say that Boogie has it, but again, nothing in records is saying he can prove it. And it's just like Lolcow Live is just insane. It's these like
Who's on that podcast?
It's it's Boogie. It's Wings of Redemption, who was like a big like Call of Duty streamer.
My God, that's awful. That is just already awful. What a terrible podcast.
There's one cool guy on there. It's like Jay something. I would have to figure out his name. And then Keemstar. And Keemstar is the leader and owner of Drama Alert.
Keemstar hangs out with those people?
He's the owner of the. He's the. It was his idea. He's the owner of the podcast. He thought it'd be a good idea to get these lol cows, which is just like disgraced fat YouTubers who just make fools of themselves.
It's not just that. A lol cow is basically somebody that's making a jack what out of themselves on the internet, and is potentially and is literally giving the internet more fuel to mess with them. Everything they do is funny, so that's why they're called. Also doesn't help that they can be overweight as well.
They've all been just overweight, so I thought that was part of the deal. So yeah, it's like Boogie just plays victim to everything. I actually like listening to them. It's the only podcast besides this one that I like listening to because it just gets super crazy because it becomes like this massive victim complex, and he just like tries to lie to cover up stuff and then keeps lying and like piles it on. It's like, I feel bad for anyone going through bankruptcy. That's gotta be one of the scariest things in the world. But on the other hand, dude, like, you're kind of bringing it on yourself when you're making these horrendously bad decisions. By the way, context wise, he used to be a millionaire from like YouTube and stuff. Now in the documentary, it says that he blew it all on on prostitutes while he was married
and Bitcoin
and Bitcoin. Yeah.
But like not Bitcoin, like cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
He probably fell for meme currencies. And stuff.
Absolutely. He's the kind of guy who would. Yeah.
Oh no! Actually, he just recently advertised a scam currency.
His own.
Yeah. Like, what was it, George?
So I was gonna say, like, yeah, I was not familiar, so I just like did a quick search, and I'm looking up a bunch of these things. So there was a controversy with him in 2018 and in 2019. Also, again, later in 2019. Another one in 2019. And in 2024, those are just controversies. And then in 2024, he decided to promote cryptocurrency called Fatty Coin on his Twitter.
Oh, God. Boogie.
Another YouTuber who investigates like online scams or whatever accused him of promoting a scam. And he noted that the Fatty Coin had lost 90% of its value by June 28th. Now, that being said, it was June 27th that he announced the Fatty Coin. So a day later, it had already lost 90% of its value. And then Boogie claimed that none of his fans would buy the cryptocurrency. Instead, he asserted that his crypto would only be bought by millionaires who would waste 0.01% of their worth on a meme coin as a joke. And then he apologized on Twitter in July. In the apology, he stated that he deleted every Fatty Coin he had owned before writing, "If any fan comes forward and can show me that they lost money on the coin, I will gladly apologize to them. I will try to do more than just apologize and see what else I can do to make you whole." Like,
I'll give you a big sorry.
Yeah, and then something about
sorry and maybe a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, not your money back, but
there's like a whole like Tesla thing, where like he did a live stream where he said he bought a Tesla and then like sarcastically asked for money to help pay for the car, like on a live stream, and the viewers got upset. And then he went back and said, "No, I didn't buy the car. I put a down payment on it, and I canceled it as a result of the backlash." And like, oh my, just reading this, I'm like, how is this guy 3.97 million subscribers? Like, how?
Well, he fell from grace.
Right. He used to be huge, literally, and then like he just like fell from grace. And
I don't normally hold on a second. Look, normally we wait for comment at the end, but one of our viewers / members, McGuffin, says, "Question: Can he fit in the Tesla?" Probably not.
No.
It was 2019, so who knows? I don't. I don't know.
The jury's still out on that one.
Yeah. But yeah, and then you know what, that documentary came out and he put out like a house tour video after that and it did fairly well. But like, you know, people are just talking about him again, so he's getting more traction, which like is just annoying, but yeah.
I'm really liking this aggravated assault charge that he had too.
Oh right, yeah, I totally forgot about that. Hold on. I just want to clarify that one. I don't even blame him. There's some crazy like fan or just like approached his door and like, you know, is like giving all these stalker vibes. Granted, Boogie probably shouldn't have whipped out a pistol and put a warning shot to leave his property.
Yeah.
But it's like, dude, you know, you should not mess with like a YouTuber like that or in general.
So here's the thing: is I'm reading this, and apparently the person was another YouTuber.
Really?
It was Frank Hassel.
Frank Hassel? Oh, dude, the Punisher's sick.
That's the Punisher, yeah.
Frank Hassel. Like, why are you hassling me while I'm telling you about this?
Why are you hassling?
Hassel apparently was harassing Boogie over several months, and because he suspected that Boogie was the cause of his channel's termination. So he was a YouTuber whose channel got like canned, apparently, and he blamed Boogie for it. And then after that, he made his way down to Boogie's home, and both of them were interviewed by Keemstar, in which Boogie threatened to kill Hassel if he stepped onto his property.
Ooh.
So the very next day, that dude, Hassel, showed up wearing a GoPro, and Boogie pulled out a revolver, fired a warning shot into the air, and it caused Hassel to eventually leave. A warrant was issued with a $5,000 bond from the sheriff's department, and Boogie turned himself in on May 12th and was processed over the course of 3 hours and posted bail. On March 7th, Boogie stated that this case was settled on a deferred adjudication. Deferred adjudication, my bad. But yeah, no, apparently it was a former YouTuber who blamed Boogie for his channel being shut down. But yeah, like, there was an interview with Keemstar. Boogie said, "I'll kill you if you show up on my property." So he was fairly warned, don't show up on this man's property. And he got the benefit of a warning shot. So, I mean...
The benefit.
The law doesn't really like that. And for those of us that don't know, deferred adjudication, that relates to criminal cases and specifically to the sentencing phase for crimes. With that, there is no conviction. The court defers or postpones the adjudication of the criminal case pending the completion of community supervision and satisfaction of additional conditions.
Thank you, Rob.
I want to make sure you all knew what that meant. I know we used some big words. George used some big words. I know. Gotta make sure you guys know what he means.
That's big words. Yeah.
In April 2019, he potentially committed tax fraud. Like,
I'm not surprised.
I mean, meme, bro, you're not supposed to actually do that. Pay your taxes.
Boogie, come on, man. Yeah, it's like he's got one hell of a ride going on. Again, lying about cancer is or even exaggerating is really bad.
Not a good look. No.
So it's like, do I feel bad for him going through bankruptcy? Yes, but at the same time, you know, it's like, dude,
you kind of brought it on yourself.
Here, Derek. Here's the thing, right? Do you feel bad for somebody? Because I'm looking at this tax fraud thing a little bit. Do you feel bad for somebody who buys tons of Magic the Gathering cards or Pokemon cards and writes them off as a business expense?
I'll stop you there. No.
Okay. Because I was going to say, writes them off as a business expense and then resells the cards of value without ever reporting the money coming back to the IRS.
Huh.
So he's writing them off, gets a bump for his taxation for saying, this is all business expenses. So I can spend thousands of dollars on trading cards of whatever nature. Business expense. Okay, cool. That means they're non-taxable and they go towards your business. Then you go, there's some cards of pretty decent value in here. I'm going to sell these. But I'm not going to say to the IRS, oh, yeah, those cards that I bought at no tax, yeah, I made money off those. But since you don't know about it, I'm not liable. The IRS went, no. Anything $400 or more from self-employment must be reported. So if you made more than $400 selling trading cards, everybody, you have to report that to the IRS. Otherwise, yeah.
What happened then? Did he have to pay it back?
It just says, and then in June, faced criticism after clips of older live streams of him making racially. Nope, that's
okay.
That's a different subject matter, all in the same paragraph. So it's basically he admitted to potentially committing tax fraud, in which case he did commit tax fraud. Whether or not anything actually came of that, I don't know. But it could prove to the point of why this man is going through bankruptcy. Like, you're throwing money away on allegedly prostitutes and all this other stuff in the documentary, but then you're doing stuff like this where you're committing tax fraud, and you're a big channel, right? Like,
oh, dude, he's got almost what, 4 million, Derek? Is that what you said before?
Yeah, almost 4 mil.
Well, it's like, in the documentary, I thought it was funny, and I don't know how exaggerated it was, but like he was in an interview. He talked about how disabled he was to health issues and stuff like that. But so he could have another job to help with the mortgage. And on a phone call that was recorded with the producer or the recorder of the documentary, he's like, dude, I'm not going to keep looking for jobs. I have almost 4 million subscribers. I should just be focusing on the YouTube. It's like, dude. Oh my God.
But you're bankrupt and losing more money every day. Come on, dude.
Well, now he gets it. Well, Lolcow's, I mean, he's getting a flat fee per episode, per month. I think he said that it's paying his mortgage, so he's getting $1,500 or something a month, right? So he's, as long as but I mean, they're milking it for drama. But I read that Keemstar's debating he's going to have a decision tomorrow if they're going to kick him off the show because of the cancer stuff.
Right.
Dog, some of these comments that he's made though, I'm like, how?
Dude, he's a hero.
I'm baffled. I'm absolutely baffled by some of the things that he said.
I'm baffled.
Rob, so one of the things apparently, what I was going into, he faced criticism after clips from older live streams of him making racially charged comments resurfaced. So in 2019, these charges resurfaced from previous live streams from back in the day, where I guess somebody donated $3 and who frequently donated to him on his stream with the message, "I'm a black person." And his response on live stream was, "That's a lot of money, I guess, for a person of color, or is it not?"
You kind of can't say that.
Right? And then his response to some of the internet trolls. Have you guys seen that quote?
No.
I think there are rapists and Nazis out there who are more redeemable than you because at least they're doing something they believe in.
Ooh.
To respond to trolls.
Ooh. No. No.
Not something you should say.
He was also removed from a Dungeons and Dragons charity event due to concerns from the LGBT activists. Faced scrutiny due to his relationship with the controversial counseling service of BetterHelp. Were accused of profiting from mental illness. Yeah, so I guess he was promoting BetterHelp with a bunch of other YouTubers, and we're just profiting the profits. Yeah, pocketing the profits.
Interesting.
Oh, good, because you love to hear that.
Yeah.
Man, I didn't realize how much of a poop lord this guy is.
You mean of a lolcow he is?
I would say poop lord myself.
And again, the sources and stuff that I'm reading currently, because again, I had no idea who this person was. It very well could be people filling it in and making it worse than it needs to be or whatever. Because it's not the most reliable source in the world. I'm just on Wikipedia. But I don't know, man. Some of these things are just wild.
That's insane.
He had a really bad problem with having like putting his foot in his mouth. He just he's Derek hates him like he hates
Hideo
Kojima.
Financial decisions, tax fraud,
and the man is still active.
Right. That's the problem too, is that like his bad like behaviors and attitude and just like his personality, it has like a following. Same with that what was that the other guy on Local's name? Wings of Redemption.
Yeah.
Was that like he was like I think he like said the big gamer word on stream or something like multiple times, and like they've banned him and he comes back as like someone else as a new account or whatever. And like, but he has a community that's like just okay with that. And it's like, it's not just them, it's this cesspool of like troglodytes that like all think it's like haha funny, like, oh yeah, it's bad, you know, this is great humor. Like, no, it's not. They're terrible people. Like, just delete them from the internet. And like everything he does is just Boogie is just like controversy after controversy after lie. Like he just like never turns his life. The stupid documentary ends with him doing mushrooms, and then he's like, oh, I'm just gonna focus on YouTube. And it was like what a attaboy, like good job, he's turning his life around, and then like nothing happens.
Dude, Zoid, so the person in chat, thanks for bringing this up. I totally forgot about this. Zoid Swift says and this is true, I remember this. He once mentioned that he deserves to be with beautiful women. Yeah, because
right. he
like
buys prostitutes because he deserves to be with beautiful women.
Yeah,
I'm a big rich YouTuber. Why shouldn't I be with beautiful women?
Right. And again, I don't know if I can believe, like, now they said someone's exaggerated, but a woman on the documentary who was a sex worker clearly quit because of how like disgusted she was with herself with the stuff she did with Boogie.
Oh yeah. She was like, she even like did the like, you know, the shadow and like voice changer. She's like, I had to drop being a prostitute because I slept with Boogie. And like, I don't know, if someone ever said that about me, I think that would be like time to log off from life. Like, you know.
Oh my god. Yeah. The way you said that was pretty perfect. A prostitute, like oh, like crap. Yeah. I mean, how do you I this isn't even trying to fat shame, but like seriously, do they have to like push everything and like they have to like get like
they explained that in the documentary. He was like, I have to hold it up, and then she does whatever she does down there, and then I let it go and hope she's not there.
Is that what it takes, dude? I'm about to put. That's all I needed to make for that excuse, dude. I'm putting on like 500 pounds.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe. Like that, you know, that noise from air escapes like a tight pocket.
And it like flaps in the wind. Yeah.
Like, hey, how you doing? That I let go and she suffocated to death. Whoops. Like just dropping the fat rolls and she. You know what's funny? I never brought this up to you, Derek, but before this whole cancer thing, I genuinely thought, like, I wonder if we could pay him to be on the podcast for like dirt cheap because of like how, you know, his dire restraints. So like offer him $100 to be on a podcast episode. You know, like I feel like it could have worked, but bullet dodged, I guess, because then we would have been.
We would have broke the news.